Well, afternoon boys and girls. We all know I'm keen freshwater fisherman, so the other day I went and bought a big bag of worms from Willys Worms. Well, dendrobaenas are brilliant bait, in they, but you don't use them all, you need somewhere to store them. So me being me single, don't get told what to do, and a purveyor of buying crap, I've gone and bought myself a wormery. Easy thing, might be a flow through system. Basically you keep swapping the layers over, but that's if you want to do compost. I don't care about compost, not interested in the slightest. I just want somewhere to keep my worms after I use them or until I need them again, and maybe breed a few, that sort of thing. So this is how you set one up. Well, I've bought a worm city type. Well, it's ever so easy. Basically you've got all these segmented trays. This is a standard tray, and this is a tray with a hole in it. So that's quite simple. Obviously got the same mould and gear for the lot, so they keep making them all at the same stuff. Obviously this tray is your base, and you screw it together with 2 bolts and 2 wing nuts. That's ever so easy. Stevie Wonder could do it in the dark, sort of thing. Obviously they go back to back. The top one's got a hole in it for a drain. Then you get these trays. One's got a hole in it, that's then classed as a sump. One without a hole is a lid. Simple. So you get your tray, stick it in, line up the 2 holes, stick your tap in it, get your lock nut, put it on the other side. Might be able to raise this up so you can actually see it. So you put your lock nut in, inside, turn your tap, say off or on, obviously on or off. This is classed as a continual flow system, so basically you put your trays on it, all take the trays, pile them up, and then you stick your lid on. The theory is, in the bottom tray you put a bit of cardboard, put all your compost and stuff, stick loads of worms in it, all your veg and fruit trimmings, stick in the bottom, give it a few months, and then that'll obviously gradually fill up with your compost. As the worms turn to compost, you want to get rid of them out of it. So then the next tray, you put some more cardboard in it and fresh compost, and after they eat all the veg and fruit and bits and pieces, they then move up into the top tray. You take this one off, your worms in it. This one is in worm castings, and as gardeners do, they get the little worm castings, get really excited, have some man wee, and then chuck it in the plants. One that is interested in compost is yeah, I'm not going to say it, not at all. This tap is obviously the juices, obviously as they compost, break the compost down and the plants and stuff, all the juice go in the bottom and you drain it out. The old gardeners call it worm tea. Oh, they love it. That's like crack for gardeners. Well, I'm not interested in that. So yeah, well, this is how I'm going to set it up, because obviously how they do it isn't how we want it. That's how after making compost and worm tea for little gardeners' fetishes, but I just want to grow worms and breed them. So obviously I've got to do it slightly different. Well, the main difference between making compost and worm tea compared to like breeding worms and keeping them for fishing is the moisture level. Obviously when you got making compost you want to have a little bit damp, but obviously if you're breeding worms to breed like a lot damper, but it isn't that good for composting because you can't separate it or riddle it very easily because it's all claggy. But I don't care about the compost, I just want to breed worms. Worms like to breed in a lot wetter compost and base than what they do to make compost. They just like it a lot wetter to breed. This is how I'm going to set it up. Well, the first thing you do is chuck all your bases off, and all you want is the bottom base sitting on the sump. Then you need a pen, because you want to get a bit of cardboard, cut it to fit in here nicely. I think that's about 430mm by 430mm, nothing too big. In fact, you can use the box you bought it with. Well, I'm a bit different because I bought half of this second hand. They bought the base unit and the sump and the lid and one tray second hand for a tenner off Facebook. When you look at random stuff late at night sort of thing. But one tray ain't enough, so I then bought another 3. So I got 4 trays. So obviously they come in a box and you want the cardboard, but you don't want the plastic, so just peel all the tape off it and leave it like this. Because you don't want to be putting plastic in your wormery. Doesn't do it any good whatsoever. Well, we've got a sheet of cardboard to go in the bottom. So there's the box that come in. Put it on top, line it up. Draw around it. And basically you want to make that 1/4 inch smaller so that fit inside. I'm sure even I can do that with trusty scissors. Cardboard, fit in the bottom, a treat, look, easy peasy, and I've got all my digits left. Result. Well, that's the start done. That's easy. Now you want some rainwater, because tap water ain't no good unless you left it out for 2 or 3 days for the chlorine to gas off. If not, you'll kill everything. So I've got another water butt because I store shit. So I've got a water butt and I'll go get some fresh rainwater out of it. Like I said, if you ain't got no rainwater, just fill a couple of buckets up with water, leave for 2 or 3 days and you're good to go. So what you've got to do, take out your trusty cardboard, or such a good fit you can't get out again. Cardboard in the water. I would put both ends in, but as you can see, the bucket's only 10 litres and that wouldn't fit. So we'll give 5 minutes one side, then I'll spin it over and give it 5 minutes the other. Easy, even I can do it. Well, after you've soaked in your cardboard for 10 minutes, get it out. It's all a bit floppy. That's soggier than Starmer's spine. Just pick it up and place it in the bottom of your tray. That's nice and damp and stop the worms from going straight through. The next joyous bit to do is you want lots of bits of cardboard. If you can get cardboard packaging for work or something, but I can't, so I've got to get a pair of scissors and just cut cardboard up in strips. If you've got a few bored ankle biters, tell them some competition that the more cardboard they cut up in the quickest time, they become the winner, or some trope like that, and get your kids to do it. Ideal. But instead I'll be sitting here for the next 10 minutes, cutting up a few strips of cardboard. Lucky, lucky me. Well, as you can see there, I wasted 5 minutes of my life cutting up bits of cardboard. So just get them bits of cardboard, chuck them in said bucket of rainwater, and leave them for, give them a good dunk, and leave them for 5 minutes. Got a cup of tea or some other stuff, I don't know. Well, after 3 minutes, let's get them, drain them off, chuck them in. And now you just have to fill it up with compost. Obviously, I've got some in the tub of a few dendrobaenas in it because I bought them earlier. So I'm just going to transfer that into in there. Obviously, if you buy a wormery straight off, you get the option of having worms in it, but mine's second hand, so it ain't. I got this lovely tub off Willys worms last week. Nice puce colour. I've scribbled out my address because obviously I don't want none of you weirdos sending me pants and stuff like that. So Willys worms, I've got a kilo of dendrobaenas, come in a sack, in a box, straight to your door. Well, obviously I'll store them for a few days. So I've put them in a plastic tub And they're all sitting here. I think there's about 100 in here. Was that a dead one? It doesn't look too healthy. I've got them here. But yeah, I'm now going to transfer them into in there. Well, I'll just put a mixture of compost and green compost in there, so obviously the worms are now burying up because they hate light. The old dendrobaenas, the name for them is a European night crawler, so yeah, they hide away in the light, but at night time they're active in the dark. So they do try and escape for the first few days, but there's an easy trick to stop that. Before adding your compost to your wormery, you want to wet it up. Just keep adding water and stirring it quite well. You want it quite wet, you see how it's quite wet. So if you give it a squeeze, you do get a bit of water come out, and that's how wet you want it. For composting, you want it quite a lot drier in that, but for wormeries, for optimal breeding, for dendrobaenas, you want it quite wet. You don't want to feed them too much to start off with, till they get like home sweet home and used to it. So all I've done is I broke up an eggshell. That's calcium, what bring the pH of the compost down, because it can be quite high. You want neutral, and a lot of compost is quite acidic, so the old eggshell will bring it down. Now I just put 4 tea bags on it, split the tea bags open, delete the tea bags, and I just got to put a cover on top. I'll just put another couple of layers of wet cardboard on top. I think a bit of wet paper as well, and that layer is done. Give it a week or so, and then put some veg clippings and scrapings and peelings or whatever on top, and you should be away. Well, me being me, I'm now going to put another layer on it straight away, because yeah, I want to store worms in it, not do one. I want to store and breed worms, not do one layer at a time, continual flow. So exactly the same as before. Second tray, cardboard, stick it in the old rainwater, turn it upside down, let it soak for a little bit more. Not quite deep enough to get in the middle, so I'll spin it round. So just repeat as before, cardboard in the bottom, fill it up with compost and more dendrobaenas. Well, that's layer 2 all finished. People say they don't get them to breed that much. Well, what they think they do wrong is they put too many worms in. They're self-regulating, so if they get too many, they stop breeding. Look at this box. So that's, I think it's like 430mm or 430mm. Just about 1.5 foot roughly. Square. So what you want to do is put 100 worms per square foot. So here, 1.5 square foot area roughly, 150 worms is plenty. That's the optimum amount to get them to breed like hell. So don't fill it full of worms, that's all you need. And this is one of the tubs I got set up, and if you look here, them 2 worms are joined together, and so are they. Oh, just disturbed them. They're making babies, let's put it that way. Got a bit of banana in there, so what I'm going to do is cover them back up and let them get on with it, because they're breeding just what I want. These are just in a couple of polystyrene fish tubs I've got with 2 holes in it. They seem to be doing fine in that. As I've only filled 2 of these tubs up, and to stop them from escaping for the first couple of days, I'm going to be a bit crafty. I'm going to put this tub on top, the empty tub, and I'm going to put a little LED light in the middle, so that'll glow around there. Obviously on the sides there's a 1.5 inch gap, so I can put that on there, put the other one on top, that'll be another 1.5 inch gap, so all that bit will be illuminated, so hopefully that'll stop the ones from below from coming out. Then I'll just put the second layer of worms on, repeat that with another light, and then put the lid on. Well, that's that all set up, and hopefully it'll be okay now. Obviously I've got a battery with some lights in there, or the battery for the lights, what are them running in, and I'm sure it'll be fine, and that's how it is. The easy way to set up a wormery. Piece of proverbial.